this is kind of in my realm. Never done a LEGO reaction before, but people are telling me that this new AshNFlash review is interesting because a lot of people are not holding their punches when it comes to the Juggernaut and how bad of a set it actually is. And according to what people are saying, AshNFlash does a lot of LEGO defending here. So I wanna give my input. I wanna check this out. Let's go into it.
Hello there everyone, AshNFlash here, and welcome on into an early LEGO Star Wars 2025 summer set review. Today we're looking at set number 75413. It's the Republic Juggernaut, or $199.99 Canadian. It's set to be released on August 1st, and we're set to be
Yikes.
I'm so excited to build this, not for the reasons you think. I'm excited because I've seen so many different reports of how this is built. It has crumbled on people, it has been dropped by people, and it has survived, so I do not
Okay, where have you seen the video of someone dropping it and surviving it? Because I haven't. I have not.
The set itself, you know, I had the one that had Cad Bane and Ayla Secura, which is interesting that she's in this wave. But
yes, me too.
This is very
the
much
best one in my opinion.
I'd say size-wise for sure, and just it looks very skinny from certain angles. But yeah, I need to build this for myself to see how strong it is at least. But anyways,
definitely ain't as strong as this.
Alright, so here it is.
Which still isn't
built.
perfect, but
let's go ahead. Let's test this out. Alright, so the first thing that we're doing is testing the stability, because all day yesterday,
God, the back looks terrible.
I'm seeing
there's like no slopes on it. I didn't realize that.
Apart, and then at the same time, I'm seeing people literally go like this and just drop it. And
that wasn't a drop, dude.
So I don't understand that, and I was really looking forward to
any LEGO set from a 5-inch drop.
Well,
I can't believe it survived.
It seems to drive very smoothly here. It can go up your hand,
yeah,
which I think is really fun because of the way
all turbo tanks do that.
Go off-road. Now the thing that I saw probably going around the most was grabbing it by the panels.
It doesn't have clips to hold it down. This is my first actual review of my set.
Why are you grabbing it from the panels? That's not something that you do. Maybe previous versions did that.
What is he doing?
Test for LEGO. Because here it is here. I'm grabbing it by the panels.
Oh boy.
Moving it up and down.
You're grabbing it by the...
fine.
No.
LEGO sets are not meant to be grabbed by the panels. Even if previous versions did that, it's still not something that should be expected of a LEGO set. I've never heard of grabbing a set by these side wall panels or doors.
First of all, you tried to grab it by one thing. Dude, he's just destroying stuff to destroy it.
I don't understand. I said this as well. It's like grabbing a building from the top and then being upset, oh no, it fell and broke. Like, what do you expect?
It's not from...
is fine. You grab it from the sides, you wiggle and move it around. You want to lift it up, you just lift it up, like this. Look, the back here.
Oh wow,
yes,
look, the whole thing just
over
popped.
Time, over excessive force. I'm being dramatic in this video. I'm being very forceful. But if I close it back up and I grab it from where it's meant to be and use the force that it's actually meant to survive with.
Okay, so one thing about that is yes, as a 20-year-old man, you can grab it from the top. No issue. But children who do not have basketball palm gripping hands can't do this. They can't do that with their set. Does he not realize that, like, you're an adult and the most people who are going to get this is like 8? 8 to 12? Like, I got my first turbo tank when I was 5. I got this when I was 10. I was not holding it any other way but the carrying handle. And they even make the carrying handle small, so kids' fingers, you don't have to have a huge handle. So, but even like, I didn't show it when I dropped it the other day on my video, but when I did drop the set, and it did from the top, the only way it broke, because if you hold it by the wings, it is not going to fall off. If you hold it by the top, yes it will. But, again, you're able to lift it pretty decently from just the top. It's just not connected greatly. Only thing that just fell off there was a figure that was sitting in the back. But see, even as I held it from the top as an example, the only thing that fell off was this little piece from the top that I was holding it with, and 2 of the tires because they're connected by 1 little stud. And then the little seat in the middle that the figures sat on. So, he's tripping.
Want to ram this into things here? You're fine. Look, it's a tank, right? Look at the force that I'm doing here, and nothing is falling apart.
The force
I
that you are doing
understand.
here.
I'm not sure why stress testing a set is now something I need to be doing in a review. I've never once gone with the Batwing and shooken it up.
Don't have to stress
Again,
test
I'm being
the sets.
because I've been dealing
It's
with
just
this for the last 24 hours. I'm just
dealing with
understand.
this.
Again, yes.
That's
it's
a good.
not
That's a
great
fun way to
connection
put it.
point. And I'm
Dealing
sure
with this.
If I went like this here, and over time, it'll fall
Over
apart. Are
time.
the kids gonna treat it like that? No, they aren't.
Yes,
Not with the
they
strength of
are.
a grown adult
Yeah.
man. Do you want to try?
Oh,
one
now you're gonna
here
bring up the
and
fact
that's
that you're a
opening this
grown
up
man.
completely and grabbing it from this. Yeah, that is. Very
It's connected by
agreed.
2 beams on the
There,
top.
that should be 100% stronger
Ugh.
and attached, but I'm not sure why you would be grabbing from this piece here, this 1x12. I would never grab from this as a child. It just doesn't make any sense.
Sure you wouldn't,
Why would you
dude.
even be grabbing this open?
With some of the things he said in the
2
past,
seconds here
I believe he would.
and grab it. Yes, again, weak connection point. But I could go on and on talking and showing you guys that this is perfectly fine and normal for a lady. You know what else?
No, he wasn't even grabbing it by it. It just
Or, like,
fell
go
off.
into your room then without it falling apart.
Oh.
Look, I just have some closing things here that I want to say.
So how are you gonna break
while I was
the Separatist,
testing all
the
this out.
Felucia set?
Look, at the end of the day, people are going to play with their sets the way that they want. You know, if other reviewers want to.
I just don't like. I also don't like how they're connected like that. I like how in this one they're like
I'm
completely
being
separated.
genuine. Like, if that's what they want to do, then that's fine. But that's not been something over the last literal 7 years this week of me posting videos that I've ever been asked to do. There was one time with Simba that I had a really bad structural thing with the head, where if you just turned it the slightest little touch, it would fall off. I stressed about that, putting out that review, because I'm like, oh my goodness, did I build this wrong? Did I do something wrong? I was so careful about that. And so
The thing is, your job is not as a land member to defend Lego. If you built it, you're stressing that, oh, I built it wrong. If you're struggling with how to build a Lego set, that either says something about you or it says something about the Lego set. Odds are, when he's talking about that Simba, that's on the Simba. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you looked at the connection point on that head. It's barely connected. It's just on a swivel. So, again, why are you stressing to defend Lego?
much has gone into thinking this through and thinking about how I'm going to communicate my thoughts about why are we grabbing from panels and different things. Like, for instance, full 100%, I have been grabbing this set over here, the MTT, from the top so many times, and I've dropped it because I keep forgetting that this top part is detachable here. But you know.
But that's because it's meant to be detachable. The wings
how this all
aren't.
started was just I was confused why we're grabbing from the panels here, because this is fine. If I did the same thing for this, like, no one's expecting this to survive.
Again, you're
and
doing it
wiggle
from
around.
one side,
It
and
is.
then it does survive.
It's not the point. Like, we're not
You
meant to
goofy.
grab Lego sets from certain parts of it. Like,
This is
no one's
comedy.
stress testing
This is
with
comedy.
this because it'll just fall out. I happen to have this here on my desk. I feel like this is a good
Oh yes, the
example
police
of what
car.
I'm trying to communicate and get across. When you grab a car and you move it around, you grab from the sides, right? You swoosh it around. You
hmm
don't grab from the top hood. Because
Again, you're
it's
not grabbing from the
meant
top
to
hood.
be grabbed from there. You want to grab from the sides. And that's my whole point of this. If you walk away from anything here, we need to be treating this like the ground vehicle that it is, like a car. You push it and pull it. At the end of the day, why are we lifting it from panels? I have never, ever expected a Lego set to survive from grabbing it from a panel. Previous versions, whatever. It just doesn't make sense to me.
The reason
All right,
you
so
haven't expected it to survive the panels is because you've grabbed panels in the past and they haven't crumbled on you. So the thing is, now you think about it and you go, why haven't I thought about, like, Why have I ever had to sit there and think about grabbing it by the panels? Because, like I said, on other sets, do I have something else that you can grab by the panels that's like... Now, there's not many other sets like that where the panels are out to the side. But it's just like, yeah, most of them are built better than that. So, I think we've gotten through the part of the review.
Our way through the actual set.
Yeah, we got through the part that I wanted to talk about. And, yeah, no, it's kind of comedy. The amount of sets he broke in this just to kind of show off and, like, act like Lego's doing a great job. It's kind of funny. But look, I am subscribed. I am a fan. But once in a while, dude, you just gotta admit you're wrong. You gotta, like, take it on the chin and you need to have some dignity. But yeah. Don't buy this set on launch. Wait for it to go on discount. Man, that ATTE went down to like 85 on clearance commonly across the country. So just wait for a clearance. If you really want the figures, I can promise you you'll be able to find this set at, I'm guessing 120, maybe a little less. And that's, yeah, 120, sure. Like, that's not the worst. It's still more than I'd hope, but or you can always bricklink the figures. Let me know what you thought about this, and I'm out.